What's good for the goose ultimately got to be good for the gander. Robyn wants to sit up here and cry about how Candace spoke ill of her on social media. Robyn, you're somewhat of a social media maven yourself, aren't you? Let's go ahead and pull those receipts. Jesus, let me know, but they show no fish. You say you found it, but she's still gonna hold on. They say you found it, but she doesn't want. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I wanted to bring you a review for The Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 8, episode 8. And I wanted to start this video off by saying, first of all, Happy New Year to you all. I'm so happy to be in a new year with some new fresh energy in a new era with all of my supporters and subscribers. And I wanted to remind you all to go ahead and hit that like button for me. When you hit the like button, it's not only a free way to support my channel, but it also lets YouTube know that I'm here and that you all are rocking with my commentary, and then YouTube starts shooting my content out to other viewers just like you, an audience who would ordinarily not get exposure to my channel. So we've had a 2-week break. It was killing me. I wanted to come down here and gossip with you all, but we're here now and that's what matters. So let's go and jump right on into this episode. Hold on. Now before I put my glasses on, child. Okay. In the very beginning of this episode, we learned that Ashley's good-for-nothing mammy had some big, grown, hard-foot man laying up in her house, not contributing to the household. So you had a man in your house with your children, eating y'all's food, drinking up y'all's juice drink, cheating on you, and not contributing to the household. What a stellar example she set for young Ashley. Amazing. Good job, Sheila. Ashley says that this has influenced the way in which she navigates her relationships. She found a man to lay on her back for that would provide a little bit of financial stability, but he's unfaithful as well. So we can clearly see where the influence comes in. But shout out to Ashley for finding a man with a little bit of change. In another scene, Wendy reveals that her mother is in surgery. Listen, I'm so sorry to tell y'all, if my mom had some impromptu surgery, the way I would have chucked them hoes the deuces and been on the first flight out to go see about my mother, I just can't imagine any reason I would want to sit around these women as opposed to checking on my mother. But who knows? Maybe her mom said everything's going to be okay. Go ahead and get your check for this episode. It is what it is. But it turns out that Wendy's mother is okay. So shout out to Wendy and her mom. So the women get together to paint Karen for her triple 20. Candace says that she can't process the fact that her and Robyn are beefing. I just want Candace to get over this at this point. Just process it, get it through your head. She is always going to have her nose up Giselle's butt. So there's really nothing that you can do about that. There is no friendship to be salvaged here. And I hope that watching these episodes back, Candace gets a chance to really process that. So the women head out for a drag show and they stop for dinner. Megamind Ashley mentions how upset Candace was in the car, talking about her and Robyn's friendship. She's saying that she doesn't understand why it's okay to bash Robyn on social media. Why is it okay to bash anybody anywhere? Ashley, you were the same one who brought up the fact that Robyn and Juan only had a quarter to their name. So what does it matter if it's done on social media or not? What does it matter? Why is it so much worse on social media? In my opinion, it's worse bringing it up on the show because a lot more people get exposure to it. I don't follow these women on social media. Actually, the only one I follow is Candace. So I have no idea what's being said or done on social media, much like the rest of the audience. So what are y'all talking about? So what if she says her piece on social media? Why are y'all trying to nail her to the cross for speaking her mind after the show? Usually after the show is when the women are pulled in for interviews or they're speaking on podcasts or whatever the case is. So it's going to get spoken about on social media. So what? Ashley, you're not making the point that you think you're making. You just sound stupid. and you sound like an instigator and a troublemaker. If Ashley would take that projector screen of a forehead and focus on her marriage and her children, then maybe her husband wouldn't be running around hotel rooms with other women. Maybe her children wouldn't be climbing on top of the counters. Right? And how is this Ashley's business? Once again, Ashley is giving a damn when it's not her turn to give a damn.
See, there you go. Giving a fuck when it ain't your turn to give a fuck.
So they're trying to act as though it's a crime that Candace talked about them on social media, when in reality, Candace didn't up and just start talking about them on social media. She was defending herself against them on social media and speaking about the season. They all talk about each other on social media. By the way, take a look at Giselle digging into her teeth and sucking the food off of her finger that she just dug out of her teeth on camera. She's just filthy. She's just so nasty to me. Also, take a look at Giselle from last week when she was addressing Candace. Look at all the venom that is coming out of her face. She just looks like a demon, just as nasty. Now, Robyn says that none of us should be using social media to weaponize against each other. Robyn, isn't your podcast a form of social media? You talking about Chris and his alleged affair with this mistress who came out to speak about Chris, and then the same woman who alleged she had an affair with Chris turned around and said it was all a lie. But you and Giselle took delight. You took absolute glee in the idea that Chris could potentially be cheating on Candace. Didn't you and Giselle take to your reasonably shitty podcast to kiki and kaka about Candace? Is it not the same thing? Robyn is a hypocrite. Robyn, for the most part, is She-Hulk. But this season, for some reason, she's decided to cosplay as the damsel in distress. And I'm just not going for it. Sorry. You're not going to be able to play that role. Not with me. Let's go ahead and play this clip. Shout out to Make It Make Sense.
Chris's scandal at the same time of Juan's scandal. I don't know.
These women, and when I say guys, I'm speaking from my own as well. Why do they entertain these thirsty women who are fans? I'm not going to talk about yours. I'm not going to talk about Juan, but I'm just going to say some of these guys are miserable, unhappy, right? Unhappy at home. They need attention. Yes. They need all that.
Giselle, some of these guys are miserable and they're unhappy at home. Just like Jamal was miserable and unhappy at home, and he was running around the church swinging that dick around like a helicopter. Yeah, you would know about unhappy at home, wouldn't you? Let's go ahead and play this next clip of Robyn and Giselle talking about Candace on social media.
Same people, trash. Michael Darby looking real innocent these days. He's looking real like he's an upstanding gentleman these days. I mean, right. And when your friends try to tell you about your husband, you might want to listen. Right, and not get so upset and turn into a victim, and you try to tear people down and whatever.
Giselle said that Michael Darby, the ghastly ghoul, is looking like an upstanding gentleman compared to Chris. Really, Giselle? The man who was accused of grabbing people's butts without consent, the man accused of essaying people, looks like an upstanding gentleman next to Chris? Hold on, let me run this back.
Yes, and the same people, trash. Michael Darby looking real innocent these days.
Is he?
He's looking real like he's an upstanding gentleman these days.
You hear Robyn laughing?
And when your friends try to tell you about your husband, you might want to.
First of all, Giselle, you're not Candace's friend. So you trying to tell her about her husband is completely and totally invalid. Giselle, who tried to tell you about your husband? Who tried to tell you about Jamal and you still saw fit to bring him on the show and pretend that you were dating him, embarrassing the shit out of your children? Even your children, Giselle, didn't think it was a good idea for you to be dating their own father. That's the example that Giselle is setting for her children. Get into it. Shout out to Mims. Shout out to Make It Make Sense. I am going to link that video in the description so you all can go ahead and take a listen to it, because I damn sure would never subscribe to reasonably shitty podcasts, nor would I give them hoes $5 to listen to their Patreon. I wouldn't give them a corn chip, one single corn chip, if I had it to pay to give them hoes for reasonably shitty podcasts. Okay, let's move it right along. So Robyn, isn't your podcast a form of social media? You talking about Chris and this alleged mistress is weaponizing social media against Candace, to be clear. Candace said that the line is always moving, and she's right. If you're being vicious, you're being vicious. Let's be clear. I don't think that Candace was being vicious. I do think that she was just defending herself against the green-eyed ghouls. Did y'all peep how Mia was trying to imply that Robyn is a damsel in distress and that they need to check on her? Karen said, what we're not about to do is value Robyn's tears over Candace's because they're both upset. I said, clock it, Karen. Clock it. And that's the colorism that we stay talking about. We're supposed to give a damn about Robyn's tears more than we give a damn about Candace's? Not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
Mia is saying, oh, we need to be a supportive friend. She's really going through it. And Karen said that if Robyn doesn't care, why should we? And I'm with you, Karen. If Robyn doesn't care that Juan is running through the streets with a wayward dick, why do we have to care that she's going through so much? She already said that she doesn't care and that she chooses to believe what Juan says. So why are you making her a victim where she's clearly not? She chose to stay and support this man through cheating allegations. That was a choice. Robyn walks off and she decides that it's a good idea to call Juan and complain once again. Now, historically, no good has ever come of Robyn picking up the phone to call Juan. Robyn is explaining to Juan that the women are trying to get her and Candace to speak. He starts yelling at her and telling her to just hear Candace out, asking why she can't be the bigger person for once. When I tell y'all I hollered. Giselle walks over to Robyn, and once again, we see that she cannot walk in her shoes. And I want to know, does Giselle own a pair of shoes that she can actually walk in? Because she's always on my TV screen looking like a damn clown. Also, I don't know why Wendy keeps suggesting that Candace and Robyn have a private conversation. Wendy, leave it alone. They don't need to have no conversation. Just let it be. Giselle is telling Robyn that she doesn't need to engage with Candace, and Wendy needs to be telling Candace the same thing. You get what I'm saying? By the way, what the fuck does Ashley have on? What does Ashley have on? The women head to the drag show, and thank God, because Lord knows that drag queens make everything better. By the way, there is a new season of RuPaul's Drag Race, season 16, and I am reviewing that season, so go ahead and check it out. So the drag queens ask the cast to give them a walk. Wendy, Mia, Nneka, Ashley, and Karen go and they do a little runway walk. Nneka is giving Wendy a thumbs down, but it was the drag queens that asked Nneka to go and sit the fuck down. Did y'all clock that? Also, y'all see how Nneka gives nothing on this show? What have we learned about Nneka on this show so far? We've learned that she's antagonistic towards Wendy. We have learned that she washes prenatal pills down with champagne. We've learned that her husband has a low sperm count, and that's probably the reason why they can't have children. In this episode, Nneka says that Candace can't seem to take accountability for what she did to Robyn. There's no accountability for Candace to take. It's not like Candace was running around lying, saying that she didn't say anything about Robyn on social media. She is standing up in everything that she's saying. She's being accountable. What she's saying is that the goalpost is always being moved with these ladies. They want to speak about Candace on social media, but Candace can't do the same thing. So I'm hoping that helps you, Aneka, because it seems like the cocktail of prenatal pills and champagne is like messing with your comprehension skills. Maybe you might want to pull back on the champagne and prenatal pills cocktails, because I don't feel like you have it all. I don't feel like it's all there for you. But anyway, guys, that was the episode. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. It's a free way to support the channel, and I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.
I've been all in my phone, I got options, and I don't wanna tell you to drop it.